scam that one of my little brother, now some of you guys probably know my little brother, he's been playing Counter-Strike for a really, really long time. He's pretty good at it, and he's had some experiences with some of his friends who've ran into some pretty sketchy and some pretty scary scams. So he told me all about this one, and I thought this was the craziest scam like I've ever heard of. One that so many people would fall for so easily. So what it is it's basically a gambling website scam. Now, some of you guys have probably heard of this, I promise. And I want you guys to also go down in the comments below and tell me what your guys' experience is with scams. Don't tell me if you've ever scammed anyone. I don't want to know about that. That's fucking blows and you should stop. But I want to know if you guys have ever been scammed, what scams have been tried on you, what ones I should talk about or look into. Not look into to do, but looking to make a video like this about. So go down in the comment section below and tell me about that. But so, like I said, it's actually a gambling website scam. So what it is somebody who came after one of my little brother's friends would say, hey man, I own this website. Then they'll link the website. First of all, when people send you links, especially through Steam, whether you're trading an item or whatever the hell it is, if it's not somebody you totally trust and are willing to lose everything just by simply clicking that link, because you guys may really think that clicking a link can't do much. You know, I'm not downloading anything. That's what you think, but a link can completely ruin your whole everything and steal all your skins and passwords and ruin your computer and blah, blah, blah. Don't click links. That's basically the #1 rule of scamming or avoiding scams. Do not click links, basically no matter what, unless it's somebody you completely trust. So he sent a link to a gambling website. I'm going to try and keep up with this, keep going really fast. He sent a link to a gambling website and says, hey man, I own this website and I want you to, you know, live stream it or make a video and show me, or show you, excuse me, not me, but show you the, not the owner of the site, quote unquote, owner of the site. I want to show you, my little brother's friend, winning on the site, winning really big. And when you win really big, you can post that video and it'll get tons of views and it'll drive more people to our site and blah, blah, blah. We can work together and you can, you know, you can profit. And he said, okay, because, you know, okay, he's not that smart, but, you know, whatever. He'll watch his video and we'll laugh about it. But still, so with this jackpot site, you go on and you see people betting typically between, he said, between like $1,000 and $3,000. And it's not, he didn't tell me the name of the site or whatever the fake site was. And I wouldn't want to tell you guys just in case, but still, you know, huge jackpots going on. And of course, being somebody who's kind of naive and doesn't really understand how this could work out not in his favor and how for some reason, why would somebody randomly approach you and offer you free thousands of dollars in skins? You know, you got to think about that. Relate it back to real life, man. Think about if somebody came up to you and says, hey man, I own a little casino and you can actually, just if you post a little YouTube video on it, I'll rig it for you and I'll give you free thousands of dollars that I could be having. Or I could have my friend do and we split it. Exactly. Okay. Why would he want you random people just to post a video about it? Whatever. Okay. So he tells them to do that and he goes and thousands of dollars are being jackpotted. So he then says to the guy, okay, I want proof you can rig it. I want proof. I'm not just going to deposit, lose the pot, lose my money, lose my skins. Because this kid didn't have a lot of skins. I think he had like a knife and a few other like $8 or $10 skins, like 2 more. And so he says, give me proof. And then he says, okay, I'm going to name a random person on the website and I want you to rig it for them and I want to see them win. So he goes ahead and he names whatever random guy and he says, make him win. You know, because if he could just make somebody random win, you know, that obviously shows that he can probably make somebody win. But you always got to double check that, which he does. So he tells them to make this guy win. Random guy, doesn't know him, doesn't know who he is. He just says, make him win. And he wins. So wow, that's, you know, not fully convincing, but that's really cool evidence. That's pretty freaking scary how they could just make that guy win. And then he says, okay. So you know, he starts to begin and think, you know, maybe this is real. Maybe I've got free thousands of dollars in skins on my hands. I'm just laughing thinking about this, but all right, I need more proof. I'm not gonna be that dumb. I'm not gonna get scammed. Let me see. Make this guy win. And he names a guy who dropped in like 50 or 60 bucks. Now, keep in mind, I didn't mention it earlier, but he actually said that the minimum deposit rigged it for somebody like that, so small. Back to back, he says, okay. Whew. And of course, you know, the adrenaline's pumping. He's getting hyped. He's thinking, what am I going to do with these skins? I'm going to have a dragon lore. What knife do I want? What, you know, he's thinking, he's way ahead of himself. He's thinking, what do I want? I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. He's already thinking what he's going to do with the skins, and he hasn't even gotten them, let alone even deposited, and let alone how sketchy this entire situation is, being a random website, having a $50 minimum, let alone some guy wanting to give you free thousands of dollars in skins if you just deposit your skin on a random site. Think about that. And just some random guy approaching him. So unfortunately, he doesn't see this as a possible scam or a possible fake or anything like that. And he goes on and he says, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Rig it for me. Rig it for me. And he tells him his name, like what it's going to show up on the site, his profile picture, things like that. And he says, all right, rig it for me. I'm recording. It takes him a little bit to, you got to get the OBS up and start recording and stuff. And then he deposits his knife. It was whatever, some $40 knife. And then his two like $8, $9, $10 skins. So putting him at like $60. And he's hyped. He's like, yes, I'm going to win free skins. He sees people depositing karambits and bayonets and Damascus steels and fades and all these knives and all these skins and fire serpents, and holy crap. Wow, he was hyped. He was already designating where the skins were going to go, what he was going to do with them. This one he's going to sell, this one he's going to trade, he's going to open cases, things like that. And he deposits and he wins. He won the jackpot for like $2,000. And he said he was screaming. He was freaking out. Yes, boom, $2,000, easy. Hype, okay? So he's really hyped. He just won a $2,000 jackpot. Little kid deposited $60. Wow, awesome. So he waits. He waits for the trade offer. Yeah, he said his trade link. He made sure he said his trade link. He messaged the guy. He says, hey, I haven't gotten the trade offer yet. And the guy says, oh, it'll come. The Steam's being a little bit slow right now, so it's going to take a little while for the trade offer to send. So, at that point, he's like, oh, yes. And of course, more designating of what he's going to do with every single skin, saying how much it's worth, how much he won, telling his friends, especially my brother. And then the guy goes offline. What? Maybe his internet went out or something like that. So he goes to his profile, and then he's blocked. He's not his friend anymore. He can't message him. He's, oh, shit. What? I haven't gotten the trade offer yet. I'll keep waiting. Steam's slow. And then, nothing. Hours. 24 hours. Doesn't get a trade offer. No skins. Still doesn't have his original knife back or any of his two $10 skins. Nothing. He didn't get that karambit. He didn't get that fucking Asimov or fire serpent or whatever. He didn't get any of that. None. Not even his original skins back. He tries to send in a support ticket. Nothing. Of course, nothing. I don't even know if there was a support thing on the site, he said. But still, gone. And that is the most elaborate scheme and scam that I've ever heard of or seen on CSGO. I haven't heard too many people talk about this because, normally scamming, scamming for you stupid scammers who are watching this video, it's kind of gone down the drain, with Steam Mobile Authenticator and all these new people get to see if it's duplicated or trade it to a Steam rep and see if it's duplicated. I'll talk about more of those scams in the future, but this one is something that I could totally see so many people falling for. So watch out, guys. People are falling for it. These guys are profiting like insane. And this is one of the scams that still works even with Mobile Authenticator. Think about it. Relate it back to real life. Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, man, I own a casino. I'll rig it for you. Just deposit your skins. Make a YouTube video. Think about it.